Jeremy, you bring a lot of leadership, not just your physical abilities. How have you found the team responding to you just having just really newly acquired?
I would say just keeping in contact with the guys, especially, I mean, we just came from a pretty long off season, so just staying in touch. You know, don't want to lose everything that we built during OTAs, so we can come and kind of make this transition back to playing football with each other again.
How important was that to make sure that you retained what you did in the earlier offseason to take it to now so you hit the ground running?
I mean, it's big. Like, the season, everything happened so fast. I think we reported to OTAs like 15 weeks ago, so if you think about it, that's what, like 15 games during the season, so that just says how fast things fly. So when we get to this point, we just want to, you know, be as smooth and be as, you know, functional as possible.
Jeremy, thoughts on Jamal Adams joining the safety group
here? Yeah, it's super exciting, man. I've always been a big supporter of Jamal's game, so just to have him in the building, you know, it's only going to help our team.
Jeremy, the Raiders also brought in Greg Pratt at the end of OTAs. I got a chance to see him out on the field. What is that addition, you think? How does that impact you?
Yeah, I think that's another addition that's going to help us a lot. Me and Pratt, we have a pretty good relationship from, you know, training together back in Charlotte. He's from Charlotte, lives in Charlotte, so you know, we've worked together extensively in the past. So just having his energy, you know, in our building as well, like I said, it's only going to help us. I mean, he's one of P's guys, so you know, just his ability to affect the game in different ways, from, you know, close to the line of scrimmage to really just flying all around the ball.
Speaking of you know, Pete's guys, obviously he coached Cam Chancellor, who kind of have like a similar build to him. Have you guys talked about any of the things that he implemented with Cam that he wants to try with you?
Yeah, I mean, briefly, you know, early on in the kind of the process of free agency a little bit, and just kind of his vision for me and this team and this defense. But, you know, I'm excited to take a deeper dive into that.
Jeremy, you're a guy that's played all over the field, a lot in the slot. You see you in the slot here. How much pride do you take in being somebody's active chance?
Yeah, it's great. I take a lot of pride in it. And, you know, the guys really helped me a lot, you know, as far as just communicating, and, you know, we have different rotations and different defenses coming in. You know, I may be in a completely different spot, whether it be position or, you know, just area of the field. So, you know, it's really a testament to everybody that, you know, I'm playing with as well, because they definitely make my job a lot easier.
Jeremy, your returning teammates really love Patrick Graham. Have you gotten a chance to know him, and what is it about him that just makes him special, that these guys really love him?
Yeah, you know, I've been able since being here to, you know, build a relationship with PG, and he's just a real genuine guy. You know what I mean? Like, he really listens to our input as players, and, you know, he's a really great leader because, one, he listens. You know, and I think every great leader has to listen, and he does that. And, you know, it may not always go. He may not always, you know, change certain things in our favor, but you know, it's a collaborative effort.
What stood out about practicing against battling with Geno Smith?
He's I think I said this in OTAs before, but, you know, sometimes playing against Geno, like, you can play great defense, and, you know, sometimes he'll just put the ball in an area where you just kind of have to, like, tip your hat to it. So he's super competitive. He's great, you know, he's a great leader on the field, but also he has a voice in the locker room, and that means a lot coming from your starting quarterback.
Where do you feel the defense is, just in terms of where you want to be by today, like this process of trying to
Yeah, I mean, it's so early to tell right now, but I think today we flew around really well. I think we really pushed ourselves as far as just kind of building up our conditioning and trying to get to the ball. I know we can be a little bit more consistent with, you know, pushing ourselves and getting to the ball, you know, as a whole unit. But, you know, I'm you know, looking forward to going to see what today actually looked like on the film.
Is camp frustrating when you can't play in pads, especially somebody like you that really cherishes the pad part?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's coming around the corner. The good part is like you kind of build up your, you know what I mean, your battles a little bit. So when the pads do come, you know, it feels good to hit somebody.
I know you want to be a tone setter with this defense, so how do you feel like the communication is going in those early? So far with this group, how's the communication been for you in setting a tone?
Yeah, I think it's going really well. You know, every time we hit the field, like it's a point of emphasis to try to make an impact. You know, you're not always going to have those opportunities on the ball, but you always have the opportunity to run to the ball and get to the ball and make your presence known some way or another.
Jeremy, you talk about putting pads on. Ashton Jenkins comes with a lot of accolades. So one of them is being able to break tackles. I'm curious, just from you as his teammate now, how are you about that aspect of his game, and what have you seen from him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, when we play with no pads, you can tell he's a physical runner even without pads on. So, you know, I've seen what he did in college. You know, I was a big fan of his when he was running the ball at Boise State. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that'll translate here in the NFL as well. So I'm just excited to see it.
What are your thoughts on Isaiah Palomalo? What's your relationship like with him?
Isaiah, we have a good relationship. You know, he has a very keen leadership about him as well. He's one of those guys who really helped me as far as like different packages and like, hey Chinn, like you're at the nickel right now, or hey Chinn, it's big nickel, you're back at, or we're in base, you're back at safety, whatever it may be. You know, he's one of those guys who is always in the building, comes in early. Like I'm always expecting to see him early in the building. You appreciate that as your co-star in the deep end of the field.
All right, last one, guys. Is there any similarities from last year in Washington? Not a lot of people talking about you guys, how many wins, and yet you guys went about your business. Do you kind of sense that similarity here with this one?
Yeah, I do. Last year there was a lot of veteran leadership, on that commander squad, and I think we've got a lot of things going here as well, veteran-wise and leadership-wise, and one thing is just the competitive aspect and training camp that we had there, and I feel like I can bring that here and just compete my tail off and bring the best out of guys. Like I was talking to Brock during OTAs, and I'm just like, hey, like I hope I make you a better player this camp. Like we're gonna go at it every single day, and that's kind of how me and Zach Ertz were last year in Washington. So just competing during camp and try to just sharpen iron, and stay on that every single day.
Who's winning a wrestling match, Pete or Dan Quinn?
Man, I don't know, man. I don't even want to answer that.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Go ahead with questions for Geno.
Geno, you can't start without.
Sorry.
How good do you feel to be back on the field with Pete?
It felt great to be back on the field, not just with Coach, but with all the guys. First day of training camp is always the funnest day, man. Just getting back out there, and I thought we had a really good practice. I thought guys were flying around. I thought it was a real good day.
Yeah, you can't start without starting day one. What were your impressions of that?
I thought we did some really good things out there. I thought we were great at the line of scrimmage, used a lot of cadence, and overall, man, a lot to improve on. So, it's just the first day. We call it the acclimation day, so really just getting back into it, and I thought guys did a great job. Practice felt smooth out there, and that's what you want.
Now that you had a chance to kind of digest Chip Kelly's offense a bit more, what are some of the things that really stand out to you about how it kind of works to your strengths?
Yeah, I think Chip has done a great job, number one, with implementing his style of play. We want to be tough. We want to be physical. We want to attack the line of scrimmage. He's doing a great job scheme-wise, putting us in position to make plays. We got a lot of great weapons on offense, so he's putting the guys in positions to make plays. And you can see it out there from day one, man, just the guys who are touching the ball and, getting in open space. And I think Chip's been doing a great job of just helping us get better, and it's only going to improve as we go.
Yesterday, Coach Carroll talked about the importance of having you be a leader on this team. When you're a guy that's coming in, being a newcomer to the team, only being around for a few months, how do you approach that as a player? Kind of earning the respect of the guys, even though you're somebody that's proving yourself?
Yes, sir. Every day is about proving yourself, and it's about, in this league, every day you got to prove yourself, not only to your guys, but to the rest of the league and to yourself. And so for me, when you're coming to a new team, you got to set the standard, set the example, and it's through hard work, and so I wanted to make sure that my guys know that I was going to be here 100% of the time, going to put all the work in, going to maximize our resources, and just really put our best foot forward. And so for me, I think leadership is a natural thing. I'm not a big, follow me through example, and I just try to push myself, push the guys, and I let the rest handle itself.
Something also said yesterday, you wanted to get these younger guys really acclimated to you and your game and compliment you.
What are some things that you say to like an Ashton or a Jack or a Dante to really kind of help them get acclimated to your game?
I think repetition is always going to be the thing for me. The more we can get in the classroom together and I can talk to these guys and help them see what I'm seeing, the more I can talk protections with Ashton and allow him to continue to see the game and get faster with his processing, and then just getting out on the field. You know, going through it out there on the field, you know, getting all the reps that we can, getting reps after practice, just doing all the extra little things that we can do to get better and get those guys up to speed. I think they've done a great job so far, but again, you know, we still got a long ways to go.
So you talk about those from the young receivers. You got a lot of rookies that are going to play a lot. Where's the line between like teaching them what's expected, but also, hey, you've got to know what's expected because you're going to be in the game.
Yeah, I think those guys are doing a great job already, and yeah, it's definitely you got to be a pro. You know, you got to be a pro. You got to know what you're doing. You can't get on the field if you don't know what to do. And a lot of these guys, like I said, these young guys are they've come right in and they just picked it right up and just been going with us. You know, they're slowly becoming vets, and that's what we need. We're going to count on these guys. We need those guys to make plays. We're going to uplift them, and it's our job as vets to make sure they're ready. And so I take that personal, and I want to make sure all those guys do a great job.
Earlier this summer, or even in OTAs, I think you said something to the effect of, it doesn't matter how many years it's been, there's always areas you're trying to get better. What this training camp, what are some of those points of emphasis for you where you feel like you can make a leap? Man, I think it all starts with fundamentals for me, just being fundamentally sound, making sure that everything that Coach Olsen is coaching us to do, we're getting it done. And then for me, always completions. It's all about production. I'm always finding ways to get better, whether that's on the field or off the field. It could be leadership as well. I think Alex Guerrero has done a great job with me with just the leadership aspect and helping me continue to develop as a leader. And so every part of my game has to improve. I can't pinpoint one thing because I think that's it's kind of taken away from everything else. We work hard on this practice field, and we come out here to get better, and that's what I try to do.
What are your biggest impressions working with Ashton and Brock so far?
Great players. Ashton is a smooth, running back out of the backfield. We've seen what he can do, against contact and breaking tackles. And the thing that's, really impressing me is his ability to catch out of the backfield. He's a real natural in that aspect. And then I think Brock, man, he's an all-pro as a rookie. He's one of the better tight ends in the NFL. I can't get him the ball enough. I feel bad every time I don't throw him the ball. So, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm maximizing his ability, his talent, because that's going to help our team.
Geno, it's early, but what are your thoughts on the defense so far?
Man, ballers. Shoot. Think about all the guys we got, just the new acquisitions, along with the guys that have been on the team. We got a really, really great defense on paper, and I think those guys are going to come along really well. It's our job to push them and, attack them every day and, try and make them better, and they're going to do the same for us. So I think that, we got a really good defense, and I think, slowly but surely they're going to show that.
Pete said last year was a year of clarity for him and really valuable for him. Does he seem any different to you, or what have you seen from him? Has he learned anything?
Yeah, Pete doesn't seem different at all. I'm pretty sure he's learned a lot. That's just the way that he is. He's always trying to improve, and I think, for me as, just a player, just seeing him, man, it's just great to see the energy that he continues to bring every single day. Our first team meeting was just jacked up, and, guys are, just, losing their minds in there. But, Pete, he loves it, and I think, he's only going to continue to get better as a coach because that's his mindset. That's the way he works.
Last two guys, Geno, year 13 for you. You've been around some centers throughout your career. How do you develop that chemistry with a second-year guy in Jackson Powell?
And we were able to just kind of, sit down and talk, just get to know him as a person. Love that guy. He's an extremely hard worker. Him and Max are like tied at the hip. Those guys work every single day. It's about repetition with us. So a lot of film work, a lot of classroom work. And he's doing a great job already. But, for us, man, it's just about getting better each and every day and staying focused. I think he liked it. He told me he liked it.
Last question, guys. Last question.
Pete said yesterday he already has expectations to win a lot of games, not just improve upon last year's win total, but have a winning record. Are your expectations already in line with Pete's too, already in training camp?
Yes, sir. As a great man once said, just win, baby. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to win, and again, it's about what we do every single day, winning habits, creating a winning mentality. That's something we're doing already. So we just got to take it one day at a time, one step at a time.
Thanks, Geno.
Thank you, guys.
What up?
Jakobi Meyers was able to work with Geno a little bit during the offseason. Just thoughts on him overall, his arm talent, how the ball comes out, and everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best I feel like I've played with, honestly. He's accurate, can throw the ball, can throw it far, can hit every spot, can move around. So he brings a lot to the game of football. It's going to be fun playing with him.
Jakobi, Pete Carroll wasn't shy about saying that the goal is to win a whole bunch of games. He doesn't care who hears that or how it lands anywhere else. He hasn't been very successful right here last year. So from your perspective, how encouraging or how satisfying is that to hear a coach put it out there like that?
I feel like the confidence is contagious, honestly. Like even you saying that out loud, saying it to the media, just show where you stand. So we feel every right to go out there and say it, and then honestly, we got to back you up. Like, we can't just leave you out to dry. And I feel like this is that type of team where if leadership say it, then we want to be the guys who support that fully. So we ready to do our part. Be good.
You're coming off of the first 1,000-yard season. That was something you were never really worried about. But now that you got a taste of it, are you hungry for more?
If it means winning, honestly, like it was cool, but we sucked at the end of the day. So like that was a great feeling to have that, but that feeling kind of came and went. But I feel like if we would have won a lot more games, then it would have been better. So the goal, honestly, is to probably get it again, but win a lot more games with it. That'd be cool.
Trip to you a little bit that you're kind of the older statesman now.
Oh yeah.
It kind of flipped pretty quickly there.
Oh, definitely did.
And you're a veteran now and a leader on this team and a bunch of young wide receivers behind you.
Nah, definitely. It did kind of trip me out, but it's an opportunity. I feel like, I feel like I'm still young in my career, so this early to be able to be in a role of leadership and help guys get better in the way that I feel like helps them, I think that's going to be real beneficial to me, and it's going to help me get better. So I'm definitely looking forward to the opportunity. You good?
As the leader of this offensive wide receiver room, there's those two rookies. Talk about how you're influencing them, about their listening skills.
Honestly, their question asking skills, I feel like they reach out if they need help. They say what they have issues with. They pay attention. Surprisingly, because it's a new offense for all of us, I'm asking them sometimes, like, what did he say again? Like, what happened? What's the play? And they always on it. So it's a testament to those guys. They always paying attention. They thirsty for knowledge, honestly. They work hard. They're going to be great.
Jakobi, what was the team meeting like yesterday, the first team meeting in camp with Pete? Geno told us guys were losing their mind and he was really jacked up. Can you describe it for us?
No, it was full of energy, man. Guys got up there, told their story, told why they do this, what it mean to be a Raider. It was definitely a great opportunity to learn the vets, to learn Pete a little bit more. I feel like it was a good first step in the right direction, for sure.
How, on that line, how powerful is like the energy and culture that Pete Carroll is wanting to see? We can see it.
Yeah.
You guys feel that as well?
Nah, definitely. Like I said, it's contagious. Like I said, I don't know how he do it. I don't know how he find that energy, where it's coming from, but just a little burst that he has pushes us all. And you can't come in here and have less energy than him. It just don't make sense.
Vegas this year, how much of a difference is it compared to last year in California, now being able to have your fans in the stands, family all here every day?
It's great, honestly. I mean, the family, the fans, that's a big bonus. And also your resources. I feel like we have our situations, our setups. We don't feel like we're away teams, you know what I mean? Like we're home, getting better every day in front of the fans. So it's a big family vibe here now.
How big is the preseason going to be for you guys, these games, to be able to start adapting Chip Kelly's ideas, the chemistry with the quarterbacks and everything that
Yeah. No, I mean, that's huge. It's a lot of new around here, a lot of players, a lot of new faces, new schemes. So this preseason going to be an opportunity to show what we can do and give us some momentum to carry on, honestly. So I think we're taking every game serious, or I plan on taking every game serious for sure, and we're going to see where it goes.
You mentioned Chip's offense. Is it drastically different than what you're accustomed to, or subtly? How would you describe that?
Somewhere in the middle. It's definitely different. I wouldn't say it's drastic because football is football at the end of the day. Like, you get into your spots, but the way he gets to them is definitely different. How he likes to spread the field or condense the field. It's unique, but I enjoy a new opportunity because every time I get a new offense, it's just a little bit more I can add to my game, so it's cool.
With that being said, how important was it to retain what you guys picked up in OTAs and mandatory minicamp, bringing it into today?
Nah, that was big. We needed that OTAs because we went really hard in OTAs. Like, we practiced full speed, like 100% at a time, so we needed that time to really get a jump start on the season and move us in the right direction.
Any takeaways so far in the quarterback room? A lot of new faces, and Jakorian's like the main returning guy. Just thoughts on the corners?
I don't think that's my place to really speak on, honestly. Like, I could tell you about the receiver room right now, but I'm going to let them play that out, and whatever the chips fall, that's what it's going to be.
How was that time between mandatory minicamp and now the training camp where Pete Carroll, of course, it's time that you got to rest, but he also wanted you guys to come back into that shape that you guys have ever been?
I mean, honestly, I feel like as a pro, if a coach got to tell you to be in shape for camp, then it's probably a problem. So, I mean, I think all the guys went home and tried to get better. Well, at least it looked like it today. Everybody showed up in shape, and yesterday during the conditioning test, we were all pushing ourselves, so I'm excited.
Hey, Coach, you've been described, and I agree, as your favorite receiver's favorite receiver.
I appreciate that.
How do you plan on this season continue to help your game and earn more respect?
Honestly, I mean, the respect will come if it comes. I feel like for me personally, that leadership thing is real big, like I said, because now I am the oldest guy in the room right now. Well, second oldest, not Philly here, but I want to be somebody that help the guys get better. You know what I mean? I want our group to be the best group. Like, it ain't even about me, because if we could all collectively eat, that means we could all collectively get one-on-ones and then win on third down, win in critical situations, and everybody get paid when everybody wins. So I'm looking forward to that. Appreciate it.
And Jakobi, a lot of guys say they have their superpower. Like Geno says it's his accuracy. What do you think is your superpower as a receiver? Is it route running, cuts?
I think I'm just real balanced, honestly. I feel like I don't do anything exceptionally great, but I do everything decently. So you got to kind of just play for everything, and that's hard to do as a DB, I feel like. So.
That's good. By the way, older, it's relatively.
I appreciate that.
Very young.
Appreciate that, for sure.
What up, what up, what up? You good?
How good was it to get back out there? First day of training camp, how'd you feel?
It was amazing, man. Just the energy, feeling, everybody on the team flying around and just having fun and get back on the field together. It wasn't perfect. There's definitely things we could clean up. We're not in pads yet. It's the first day, just getting out there and kind of getting our, trying to get back in that groove. So yeah, it was. There were some ups and downs, but overall, I feel like it was a solid day. So we got room to improve.
How important was it to retain what you had in OTAs and mandatory minicamp and come in today and not feel like it's day one?
Yeah, honestly, we talked about it yesterday, but we went so hard in OTAs, it feels like today was smooth. It wasn't previous training camps where you come in and day one people are dying and stuff like that. I know the guys have been working. A lot of the dudes have been here, training ever since we got done with OTA. So we've had a big group here working and training. I know a lot of guys. Geno's been in Miami getting to work and has had guys out there as well. So it just felt like we were right back to business. So yeah, I know on a personal level, there's little things that today just cleaning up, not second guessing a couple things, but yeah, just overall as a team, it was great seeing guys fly around and have fun. So it's just an opportunity every day to get better.
What are your thoughts on Jamal Adams and what he brings to the back end of the defense?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a full circle moment. I was I think a freshman or a sophomore in high school. I think I was actually a freshman, and we played Hebron in high school in the playoffs in the first round, and he was on Hebron in Texas, and I got to see him. I didn't play a snap. Obviously, I'm sitting on the sideline, and my brother was a starter on that team at Colleyville, and we got after Hebron's ass. We beat Jamal's team. But I'm not gonna lie, Jamal, I told this in the team meeting yesterday, Jamal is one of the coldest players I've ever seen in person. Up to that point, I've never seen somebody like that on a football field. And then fast forward, coming to the league, we played the Jets a couple times earlier in my career, and I got to see him, and that was his prime. He was a perennial Pro Bowler, highest paid safety at the time, and he's had a couple injuries, things like that since then. But just being able to follow his career, I've been we didn't even know who we were at the time, but just kind of it's full circle coming back together. I seen him in here first thing in the morning yesterday, and we got to chop it up, and we know a lot of people mutually. So yeah, it was we've known each other from a distance, but it was it felt like I've known him for years. Finally getting to meet in person and chop it up. So yeah, he's a great player. He's dynamic, flies around. He's got the right type of energy. We just got to get it's like everybody else, keep stacking days and show up with positive energy, and I think he's gonna help us.
You remind him of the loss?
Oh, high school, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. That was the first thing I told him. I'm yeah, I remember. I told him, I hyped him up a little bit. I was bro, you're insane. You're playing running back. You're playing linebacker. I was yeah, we whooped y'all's ass. So yeah, so shout out to my brother and them. They definitely got after him for sure.
Yesterday when Coach Carroll was talking, he said that even though he hasn't known you that long, you're already somebody he trusts. You want to believe on his team and carry his message on throughout the roster. How do you kind of take on that responsibility as you go into this first year working with him?
Yeah, honestly, being a leader is just part of who I am, and being part of my evolution as a player. I want to get better in every way I can. I would push myself, just like I pushed my teammates. You know what I mean? I never asked somebody to do something I wouldn't do, and that's the way I live and how I operate. And Coach Pete, Coach Carroll has done it at the highest level. He's won a national championship, he won a Super Bowl. And for me, I'm just trying to absorb as much information from him and learn from him because he's been around so many great players. And everybody I've talked to, from Marshawn to, Marshawn to freaking Richard Sherman, all those guys, like, they speak the world of him. And those guys, those are guys I looked up to coming up in this game. So, yeah, man, it's been an awesome experience so far. So I'm just, like I said, just soaking up information and really just trying to learn from him and relay that message to the guys.
Max, Pete also said yesterday he expects the Raiders to win a lot of games. So,
yeah.
Like, to have a winning record right from the jump. Are your expectations already in line with Pete's in training camp?
100%. I expect to win every time I come on the field. I don't care what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's every drill, everything we do. I'm expecting to win, and that's how I carry myself. But that's just an individual thing. Pete's the same thing. He's been winning at the highest level for a long time. But it's got to be all of us if we want a chance. And so we got to be able to push each other. We got to be able to pull others in our direction and get everybody on that same wavelength so we can go out there and execute on Sundays. And, we got a lot of work to get there. It's July right now. We got, we don't play our first game till September. We got a lot of work to do. But I know the guys are going to put in the work. And I know for me, like, I expect to win. Every time I go out there, I expect to win. I don't care, who's in front of me.
Max, right now, Christian's still out with a split injury, but when you look at those guys in that rotation, like Jonah and Zach, guys like that, even Tonka, what do you see from them so far in the process, and what are you trying to do to kind of help them along the process?
Yeah, they've been great. I can't lie. Jonah is a special talent. Dude can play. He don't even know it yet. You know what I mean? But he's going to be a hell of a player. Tonka, JJ. You got Tyree, getting reps inside, and he's gotten reps inside in the last couple of years as well. But we got a ton of talent, and I trust those guys. I know they're going to be ready when it comes to game day because we need them. You know what I mean? They're going to be out there. They're going to be playing week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through the season. So we know they're young, but we need them. If we want a chance to win, and I know they're going to step up. And Adam Butler, he's the first name I should mention. He's been here. He's been one of the best players on the interior in the league, in my opinion, in the last few years. So, yeah, we got a ton of guys, and I know they're going to be ready to go. And obviously, having Malcolm back on the other end is, people haven't talked about that, at all. I feel like it's crazy because he was just coming off the best year of his career. He's coming off a breakout year, and then he gets hurt right before last season. So having him back, I think is going to be huge for us. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to continuing getting better with him every day.
To continue with that, you talked about Malcolm and him coming back. What was it like going through that process with him, where he's coming from an injury and you're also injured as well? What was it like, kind of like having to go through that with him, and what have you learned about him throughout that whole time?
It sucked because we're just sitting there. We're two competitive dudes that are in the damn training room every day. You know what I mean? It's like it drove us crazy at first, but that's the cards we were dealt. But it's part of the game. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, but I know one thing about Malcolm. Like, I speak about him all the time for a reason. He's a guy that I never have to worry about. We have a great relationship, but he's a guy that shows up every single day, and he knows what it's like to work. He knows what the expectation is. He knows what the standard is. He's somebody I never have to question. I never have to get on his ass because I know he's going to be out there performing at his highest level, and he's always pushing to get better. So I love that dude. I could talk about how special of a player he is, but as special as a person too, because he's another Matt guy. You know what I mean? We stay close. That's my guy. He's made it from the dirt, and I know he's going to come back with a vengeance and play great football this year.
You talked a lot about the standard. You talked a lot about the standard and setting it. A lot of guys that have been here for a couple of years just haven't experienced success at the highest level. Like, how hard is it to get everyone to believe and to buy into that competitive?
If you don't believe, then you're wasting your time. There's always going to be the negativity until you win. Shit, everyone's going to be negative. Unfortunately, like, you guys are media people. Like, you guys love that shit. And I don't blame y'all. Like, it's part of y'all's, part of your guys' job. You the negative, the positive, whatever it is, and we haven't won much, and y'all got to keep it real. So, like, I do respect it as much as y'all piss me off sometimes. It is what it is. Like, I respect y'all because you keep it real. We haven't won much in this since I've been here. I've made the playoffs one time, and that's not what I expect. Like, I expect perfection and excellence every day. But overall, I can't do it by myself. Geno can't do it by himself. Pete can't do it by himself. It's got to be all of us. So we got to be delusional enough to believe in what we can truly do. that's the only way you can go out there and win. You know, people thought I wouldn't be in this position. People never thought I'd be in this position, and they still doubt me. And I think and I'm gonna keep proving them wrong. You know what I mean? And making them look crazy. And I know we got a lot of guys who have that type of story. Pete was the same way. Pete got fired twice before he became a successful head coach. So I know everyone in here is bought in on winning. I'm not sitting here to make a bunch of big predictions and none of that shit. Like, we got to go do it and go win. But I fully expect to win. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's been cool just seeing a full group of guys go out there in the field together and truly just enjoy being around each other. We're in the locker room, in the weight room. It's just like the energy is always on point. And it's something that can't be forced. You know what I mean? It's just something that's got to be built, and we're doing that for sure.
You mentioned you as a leader, but also Geno as a leader on the offensive side of the ball. When you're able to look across that line of scrimmage and see a leader like that, what does that mean from your perspective?
I mean, it's special. You know, reality in football, if you want to win, like, you got to have a quarterback. Let's be real. Geno's a hell of a quarterback, and he's another guy that gets slept on for some reason. But Geno can play, and he's super competitive, and getting to see him and go against him every single day has been an awesome experience so far. So, you know, we have those conversations all the time. You know, me and him have gotten real close. He's a dude that, like I said, literally the day, I mean, his people know my people, his agents he's a Washington guy. So, like, I kind of knew what was going on from, you know, a little insider stuff, you know, at that time. And I kind of got word, and I was like, this would be crazy if it happens. And, you know, it did. So I've been so fired up about, you know, him since day one. And I know he's definitely coming here to prove himself and, you know, show the world what he's all about. But, yeah, getting to line up against him and seeing the way he competes and throws, just throwing the ball. Like, he could sling the ball and make every single throw, which is, you know, definitely – I mean, it's good sometimes. You know, when you're on defense, you're like, damn, it is what it is. But, you know, on Sundays we're going to be fired up and celebrating, and, you know, it's going to be amazing. So, yeah, I can go on and on about Geno, man. I love that guy. He's been great so far.
Well, we've talked a lot about the defensive guys you're taking under your wing, but it seems like Jackson is kind of your newest story today.
Yeah.
I guess, what was that relationship like, and what time did you get here this morning?
Yeah, it's funny. You know, it's something like, to be 100% real, like, last year, I mean, me and Jackson did not have a great relationship. You know what I mean? And I'm hard on guys, you know what I mean? Especially young dudes. Like, there's respect that's got to be earned. You know, when you come into this league, in this locker room especially, like, there's a certain standard I expect from the guys. And he did a lot. Like, the amount of growth he's had in the last year has been unbelievable. If I was sitting here a year ago and you would have told me all the stuff he did this offseason to get himself in this position he's in, you know, I truly wouldn't believe you. But that's the beauty in this game. Like, you have a choice every day. If you want to get better, you want to get worse. There's no such thing as staying the same. And that dude he's got all the talent in the world. He's strong as a freaking ox. He's a great dude. He's a baller. But it's about the details. And he's come in this offseason with a mindset that he's going to take that next step. And he's done that. You know what I mean? He's been super consistent. He's been, you know, dialed in on the details. He's been here. Me and him are the first guys here every single day. And he's been consistent with it the whole time. And I can't say enough. Like, that's truly all I can ask for. If you show up, I mean, it's not going to be easy. I mean, he definitely got off the hook a little bit because I was going through my injury, so I couldn't really kill him fully. But it was great having him get back this summer. He was going to Australia, comes back, and I got to really run him in the dirt. And, you know, I'm healthy 100%. But that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? We're about pushing each other and getting better every day. So, yeah, I'm so proud of that dude, and I know he's gonna have his best season yet. And yeah, I can go on and on about him, but the energy he brings is infectious.
Last one, guys. Max, what did you make of Patrick Mahomes calling you the best edge rusher in the NFL for break?
I thought it was dope. You know, for him to recognize and give me that respect it means a lot. We've been going at it for 6 years now, and we expect to go have a lot more wars as we move forward. But I think it's just when you have. I had this conversation. It's another conversation I had yesterday, but it's so real. Like, I've had the honor to meet some of the greatest players, greatest people, greatest dudes across all different types of walk of life. And I could say this, like, when you meet somebody else that's an ultimate competitor and that is all about what you're about, I don't even have to say nothing. It's just you click right away. And I'm not saying I'm friends with him whatsoever, you know what I mean? Like, I respect the hell out of him, you know what I mean? But, like, at the end of the day, he knows what time it is, and I know what time it is with him. But I just got to meet Kevin Garnett. Like, I've never met the dude in my life, and it felt like he was family to me. Me and him are talking shit back and forth. We were there for an hour and a half just talking, and we were, like, ready to go do it, like, go play basketball, football, whatever it was. Like, we were so hyped up. Steve Smith Sr., I met with him like 2 months ago. I've never met the dude in my life. We were talking shit in the first 2 seconds, and we were like just on that same type of energy. But it's like when you have somebody that is truly obsessed and loves what they do, it's like you walk in the same room and you just know. Like, I don't even have to say nothing. You're just on that same type of time. So I got the ultimate respect for Pat. I've said it a million times. He's the ultimate competitor. I look at myself as the ultimate competitor. I look at myself as the best in the world. I know he thinks he's the best in the world, and you know what I mean? I've said it myself. So he brings the best out of me. I know I bring the best out of him. So definitely looking forward to those wars. But we got a lot of work to do until we get there.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it.